Datz is always on the cutting edge of creating new and unique dishes and desserts, and they have done it again this year. This time using the color of the year. Yes, there is such a thing. Here to explain what that means is Datz pastry chef Alicia Wolding. Good morning. Welcome back. We've missed you.
I miss you too.
I say that we haven't seen you, but I've seen you everywhere on social media. You're quite the star.
I mean, Girl with the West Tattoo has really taken off. I'm really thankful for it, but Datz has helped me get there with this Pantone color of the year inspired cake that we have.
Well, and let's talk about, because I just learned about this a couple years ago, that there is an official color of the year. You're digging right in and going for it. This year it's this, what do you call this type of purple? This is not just any purple. This is pretty vibrant.
It is called ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet.
So, as you can see, it has a really strong blue, but some pink too, and that's how I achieve this color. And this cake is actually green tea pomegranate flavored. And the buttercream is blueberry, yes.
So how do we get this intense color in here? I mean, that can't be, I'd imagine if you're, did you start out with the chocolate cake?
I actually started with a vanilla cake. I started with a vanilla cake and I used some food coloring. I used pomegranate and I used blue food coloring, all of that good stuff. And in the buttercream, I used blueberry extract. So that helps,
I like it. Well, and it's funny you say blueberry, purple. You know, you don't want to get into the debate. Is it blue or purple?
Absolutely. People that are colorblind, I hear, have a hard time with that.
I know, right? It's like the dress. Remember that from years ago?
Oh, no, let's not talk about that.
Well, and let's talk about, because you were just featured in an article somewhat recently, and you were talking about kind of the art and the science behind baking, right?
Yes, the art and the science, what I love.
Talk about that a little bit, because I think this is so interesting. People think, oh, you're a baker, it's easy to bake.
You just make a cookie and you're gonna sell millions of cookies and make millions of dollars, right?
Right, yeah.
Nope. So the business side of it, I was able to talk about in Tampa Bay Business Journal. We talked about how important it is to control your costs. So I talk about how
what are you doing here? Whoa, sorry, I'm very distracted.
This is simple syrup. So I soak each layer with half sugar, half water, and then it's brought to a boil, and I put it in this bottle once it's cooled down, and it makes a really nice top layer. It keeps the cake nice and moist, so it almost...
Like, should we be doing this with all our cakes that we're baking at home?
Yeah, so you can definitely add more water to your recipes at home, but this is a great way after baking. If your cake has come out a little dry, or even if it's come out perfect, this adds a nice level of moisture. You see that nice sponge, and so it starts to soak into it, and it gives you a nice
You didn't do each layer, though. You just did it at the top, and you'll let it kind of drain through? Okay, all right,
and
good
I do it on each layer. I did that before we started, just not on the top layer.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there, because I was very interested. So we're talking about the business side of it.
Business side of it. So we work with spreadsheets pretty often at Datz. We have a lot of different controls involved with how we price things, and that's really important. So that's kind of what that article is talking about, is how to watch how you price things and make sure that you get a good
make sure people are obviously going to still come in and indulge, but obviously,
absolutely, because you don't want to pay too much for something at the same time. So it's just making sure you get that right balance, making sure you spend just enough time on something, but not too much.
But then there is the art of the actual decorating. Then there is the art, absolutely. And talk about that, because again, I don't know how many bakers hear what the color of the year is and go, you know what?
You know what?
It's time. I'm dyeing my hair that
I'm dyeing my hair. I'm making cakes.
I'm
making cupcakes. Yeah, I mean, color is really important to me, if you can tell by my hair. So I felt really inspired, and I think it's important to keep up with the trends. Like last year was millennial pink, and that was everywhere. So I think keeping that in mind with what you make in food is totally cool.
Well, and what do they say? Like when you're eating, you actually eat with your eyes first, right? Like that's what it's going to be.
So if it's attractive and it's trendy and it's cool, why not?
Now, my only question, how are our teeth going to look after biting into this?
It might be a shade or two more purple than
But it's worth it, right?
Yes, it's absolutely worth it. So
you're going to town on this.
Yes, I mean, this is how we ice the cakes. Our 6-inch cakes over at Datz.
Is this something we can buy? Is this eventually what it's going to look like? This smooth?
Yes, it's going to look that smooth. So I get out all the air bubbles as I go along the sides with my spatula, and then I take my bench scraper, and this is how I get my really nice edges. Like it's almost like magic.
Wow, that is impressive.
It's so cool. And
all right, so I see some donuts. So when we come in to Datz or whatever, can we see some of these different things with this color?
All of these things. We have the ultraviolet cupcakes coming out pretty soon. Those aren't out yet, but they will be out within the next 2 weeks.
Are those?
Which again is the pomegranate green tea.
Okay, so is it the same cake filling the cupcakes?
It's the same flavor, pomegranate green tea cake and blueberry buttercream, which is such a unique flavor, which I really wanted to come through with this trendy looking cake. I thought it needed to be a trendy flavor. So
I feel like what's the painter or whatever that you would watch on TV and memorize? That's how I feel like.
Oh my gosh, are you thinking of Bob Ross?
Yes, I feel like that's who I'm watching. You decorating this cake. I love it. I know.
Yes.
Can you do a little tree on
Happy little cake.
Well, we're out of time, but obviously you're going to put a couple of things. But this is the finished one right there.
That's the finished product, and you can get that at Datz. Still, we have them at both establishments.
All right. Well, I'm excited to hear what you're working on next, because I know you're always creatively thinking about desserts.
So
we're going to dive into this, see what color our teeth turn.
Yes.
Thanks, Alicia. All right. For more info, head to our website as well.